another welcome back to the rather beautiful, yet if anything, slightly blustery Peak District. So today's little adventure, two parts, one for this week, one for next week. So this first part, just want to give a bit of, I wouldn't necessarily call it advice, but as a landscape photographer, I believe there is one piece of equipment, one lens that I think every landscape photographer should have in their camera bag when they come out. However, I'll touch on that in one moment. First of all, just come up to Higger Tor. Now, it's only a short walk from the road. Car's parked over here somewhere, you can see the road, and you literally just come up the path, up here, get to the top. Now it is rather rocky, a bit craggy, which is why I wanted to do the topic of this vlog. Now, my wife and I just come up for the afternoon, and we are going to head somewhere for sunset, but for the moment, I'm just going to keep climbing to the top of Higger Tor. Okay, so first little picture of the day. I'll just spin you around so you can see it. Just these craggy rocks right on the edge, looking out towards Longshore Estate. And I believe over there is somewhere that edge that you probably just saw in. It's probably a named one. There's quite a few of them up here in the Peak District, but I don't know the name of them all, to be fair. Anyway. What I wanted to talk to you in this video about is the one lens that I think all landscape photographers should have, and that's an ultra wide angle lens. Now, I have to say, since I purchased one earlier this year, it has completely changed my photography. Now, there are so many advantages to actually having an ultra wide angle lens. Now, what you don't want to do with it is just try and take a picture of a vista. The great thing about them is that you can actually ram the foreground right in front of the lens. Now, if you try and take just a wide angled vista, what it will do is it will make everything in the image seem really, really small, which isn't what you want. You want to emphasize everything. Now, as you can see from the camera, it is actually angled down at the edge of the rock that I'm currently perched on. Now, the reason being is I've actually used that rock and a small piece of, unfortunately, dead heather. I have actually missed heather season up here, which is annoying because it did come out early and we're only just into September. Now, it has got a bit of the dead heather that's grown through part of the rock. It seems to have made its home there. Now, I've got that rammed down in the foreground. If I had my 24 to 35mm lens mounted on there, I wouldn't have been able to emphasize that enough, because 24mm isn't wide enough to do that with. It might be in some cases, but in this sort of situation it's not. Now, what I've currently got it on is I've actually got it zoomed right out to 12mm, because it is the 12 to 24mm f4 art lens. Big fan of this lens, big fan. Now, it has enabled me to actually capture all of that, pulling it right out to 12mm. Now, there are some disadvantages of having a wide angle lens, but for me, that is a huge bonus, a massive, massive bonus. And as I say, since I purchased it probably March time, April time, must have been March, because I had it when I went to Wales and I'd not long purchased it. Now, it's completely changed my photography has completely changed the way that I actually do landscapes. So what I've done with this image as well, so as I say, it's currently on 12mm. I have got it set at 1/125th f9 ISO 100 as standard. Now I've had to get the shutter speed up a bit, so rather than going f11 I have gone f9 because it is a bit blustery up here at the moment, and I wanted to freeze the movement. It's only very slight movement in that header, but I've gone for a 4 or 5 image focus stack, and if that's blowing around, it will mess up the focus stack completely. So it needs to be as still as possible. Fingers crossed it's going to come out all right. Now, I'm going to have a wander around. As I say, you've seen all these sort of rocks and stuff that you get up on top of Higger Tor. And yeah, I'm going to have a wander around because the sun's just coming out now. So hopefully we can get some light on the mid and far ground as well. And yeah, let's go find some more pictures. Okay, so next composition. I ain't taking credit for this one. I've just set up the camera. My wife actually spotted this one, showing me up. So what we've actually got here, huge rock with the pathway that leads all around the sort of edge of Higger Tor with this rocky area in the background. You've also got this little rock just down here and the muddy path to help actually lead you through the image. Now, the big problem I've got, as you can probably see from the camera, the exposure is horrendous for the dynamic range. So all this foreground, I'm having to shoot at one exposure. I believe it was about 1/125th of a second. This, because it's so bright, because I'm shooting into the sun, to try and, I don't know if you'll see them on camera, you can a bit, the God rays that are breaking through these clouds, I'm actually having to shoot on 1/500th of a second just to actually try and get a decent exposure up there. Now, it's actually not a bad image. I'll say I can't take credit for this one. I just set up the camera and press the shutter button. So yeah, if it's any good, I'll pop it up for you now. And if you like it, pop some comments below the video and I'll pass them on. Okay, so what I'm probably making now is my last shot. I've actually already taken the picture because, yeah, it's getting rather windy and that sun is setting. Sorry, let me just switch hands. So, where's my camera? Because it's a bit windy, don't want to be too far from it. So what I've got here is I'm actually utilising this flat, rocky bit here as a bit of foreground interest. And I'm shooting into the sort of the valley area here, and I've got this rock on one side, this rock on the other side. Now, oh, that's not far off the composition. Getting some beautiful God rays through the sky as well. Now, The problem that I've got is because it's rammed right in on this rock, I'm having to do it as a 4-image focus stack. Oh, that sun's nice and warm now. It's a bit chilly because it's so breezy up here. But anyway, yeah, I'm doing it as a 4-image focus stack. I'm focusing on, first of all, here. Why am I never getting this right? It's behind my big head. Then there, and then one on the edge of that rock. Now I've done that to get that sharpness all the way through. Now, one pro, one con of the ultra wide angle lenses. Now, they have a fantastic depth of field. Now, it's all to do with the way the perspective works and stuff, but just using that 4 images as a focus stack, that'll give me plenty of depth, and by the time I'm actually focusing on the edge of this rock here, that'll give such a good depth of field out into the valley. It will give what I would consider acceptable sharpness, probably all the way through the image. Yeah, it's on infinity at the moment, so that should hopefully carry the focus back further into the valley and give us some crispness. Now, the one massive downside to these ultra wide angle lenses, the front element. To get the ultra wide view, it has to be a curved dome on the front. Now, I'll pop up some B-roll in a minute. The problem here is that you've got the lens hood. That's the word. You've got the lens hood. It's fixed on the actual front of the lens to protect that bulbous element on the front, which means unfortunately you can't put any filters on there. Now, because I'm shooting direct into the sun, I really could do with a ND grad filter on there. I don't own any. I've sold them all because I actually don't utilize them enough. But to make the most of that sky looking into the bright, as I said before, I'm going to have to do an exposure blend on that. So it is making it really quite difficult to expose for the foreground and the sky as well. But yeah, that sky is absolutely epic. So yes, I'm probably going to call this my final shot before heading back to the car and heading to my second destination, which will be next week's vlog. If I do see any other images on the way back, I will obviously post them up at the end of this video, as well as this one as well. So I will sign out for now. Obviously, give us the old thumbs up. We do love a bit of the old likes. I can just see the top of my head's wife peeking up over there somewhere. She's trying to shelter from the wind because that wind is actually quite chilly. So bless her. But yeah, anyway, give us the old thumbs up. Drop us a subscribe as well. I have actually got a 3-day tour next week as well. It's Wednesday today, go on the Monday, back on the Friday, giving me 3 full days there. So got a load of vlogs coming from that tour as well. I won't say where it is or what we're doing. Keep it a secret for those of you that subscribe. And yeah, this is Mike out. Take care everyone and be safe. Peace.